come on now. Not a little Teletubby, Tuffa Fluffy, whatever this thing's called. Stop.
His name is Scout.
All right, guys. Welcome back to this week's edition of Can We Trim His Nails? I've got Thunder here, and if you guys watched the last session, it was pretty bad. I mean, he got grumpy, he had some puppy biting stuff going on, he definitely was not excited about the process, and he's a pretty bold and confident puppy. He's interested in going and getting Scout now. We've been working on this a little bit with him to where we've been working on just the position of holding him here this last week, but it's definitely time for him to get his little nails trimmed again. So we're going to show you any progress, if there is any, kind of what that looks like. Today also I have my Dremel ready, so we're going to try. He's rolling right into it again. Hey, stop that now. So we're just going to allow him to settle down first, and then we will move into trimming the nails. Ow. Good. You see how we got his attention? He's in an early enough stage in development that being able to use some form of verbal, and this is going to be different for every dog, but I said, ow. He understood that, whew, that hurt or whatever, and he paused for a minute. Then we can tell him he's a good boy. Good job. And we're going to work on trimming the nails. Again, when we talk about bite inhibition, it's not necessarily about preventing him from biting you. It's teaching him the amount of force that he can use when he bites, which should be virtually non-existent. So things like that. He put his mouth on my hand, but there was almost zero pressure used. So lots of squirming. You're supposed to be doing better than this. Give him just a little bit to relax here. This is the other side of it is old Thunder here hasn't done a whole lot today. We've been working, getting some stuff done. He had a short training session this morning, but then has spent a little bit of time crate training aside from his outside potty breaks and then back in. So he could be, it's middle of the afternoon, he could be kind of just on the edge of ready to do something, which is going to make really one of the more difficult times for us to do this. But at the same time, it's a good thing. He's definitely not bad enough that this is impossible to work through, but he's got enough things to work on that this will allow us to show you kind of how to do that. Ow! Good. Good job. That's what we like. Yeah. At the same time here, avoiding putting my hand in his mouth. He wants to do that because he wants to chew on things, he wants to mouth things, but ultimately, if my hand's not in his mouth, he can't bite my hand. So petting the side of his head and working through that. Shh, big, slow, calm rubs. Good. Let's do this side. We're going to do all of the... A little bit of, I guess, positive punishment in that situation, but a little correction for thinking that this is the answer again. I'm using just a little bit of pressure here with my legs to kind of keep his front end down on the ground. He's just a little itty bitty puppy. This is the best time to be teaching these good behaviors. We don't want to just be pinning him down and having someone else come in and clip, 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 done. That doesn't teach him how to eventually work through this. So we're spending as much time working on him laying here patiently as we are working on actually trimming his nails. Because he seems to be putting up more of a fight for the fact that he is just laying here than actually putting up a fight for No. No. Good. Good job. We'll go ahead and trim again. You can see his mouth coming toward my hand again, like he thinks, maybe if I bite his hand, he'll stop doing this. But then he stops halfway. Just his nose touched my hand. He's like, I think I should probably, ow! Again, a situation where any part of us, clothing, anything else is gonna be, and he actually bit my leg, my knee here. We don't want that to be something he thinks is an option. When he's not biting, stop that, relax. Then he's gonna get a little bit of attention, calm, affection. We don't wanna be riling him up with a, oh, good boy, kinda anything like that, just good. This is the good behavior. This is what we're looking for. And we'll go back and try and trim another one here. Good job. So we have both of the front paws done. This is going drastically better. You can still see a little bit of this pushback from him, but it's going drastically better than it did last time. So as we spent about a week here working on just chilling out in this position without any nail trimming. Good. Now we're going for the back side here. We'll get these a little bit closer. Again, I'm applying just a little bit of pressure here. Ow! Good. Good job. And we're going to trim the back ones. Shh. You need to be fairly efficient and fairly confident in your abilities to trim nails. So this is going to take practice, and understand that if you both are practicing together, it's more or less the blind leading the blind, right? And that situation is going to take you a little while to get there. So don't be discouraged if it takes time. The key is going to be that we can put the emphasis on him not getting away with nipping or biting or chewing, as well as him not getting out of this, this position while we're working on this session. We're going to go back here and trim again. If we let him out, this would be more or less considered negative reinforcement at this time. I am his mild annoyance. He's not overly enjoying this game. If he gets out and me, the mild annoyance, shuts off, it says we've reinforced the behavior that the more he fights, he'll eventually get out, and that's going to strengthen that behavior of fighting and pushing back for trimming his nails. We've got to take the time to put in the effort now while he's little to teach him that no matter how much he fights, he's not going to get out of this till we get done. And then once we get done, we're going to help him to relax and be calm here before we end the session completely. We're able to trim just a couple nails at a time and then give him just a little bit of a break. Again, we're looking for not fighting, pinning him down. We want to be trimming nails when he's doing things right. Good boy. Again, a slight verbal correction, a little growly noise that says, quit that. Don't even think about it. If he actually bites me, that's when I say, ouch, that hurt, and show him that what he did just then was too much pressure to bite me with. Good. You can tell that even me, I've tried to calm my presence down as much as possible. I've got a almost whispery type of voice going on. It's all to be as calming as possible with him here. Bite your own ear. How's that feel? Goofball. All right, let's see if we can get the last two done here. Nope, we got one done. Sliding my hand up onto his chest here helps me direct his head and his muzzle, keeps his mouth away from my hands, all which is preventing him from trying to bite me, which is ultimately, preventing him from being able to bite me, which is going to ultimately be developing the behavior if he doesn't do that. If I were to go up here and say, then he instantly has access to my hands and can bite me. My hand down here on his chest I can kind of better direct what's happening. Keep his chest pinned down, help control him in his position, and then prevent him from being able to get to my hand with his mouth. I don't want this to be a constant game of correction. I don't want this to be a constant game of working him up. We want this whole process to be as calming as is possible. Again, trying to nibble at my pants can't actually get it done based on this position. Let's see if we can get the last nail trimmed. Yeah, I went for it, even though we were struggling. Now we're gonna give him a minute, and then we're gonna move on to grinding. These could take just a little bit of grinding this week, and this will be something new for him to work on. This will be the first time that we've ever ground his nails with the Dremel. I don't want to be petting him or praising him when he's whimpering or whining. All of those would be reinforcing those behaviors. So as soon as he's calm and quiet and relaxed, then he gets attention. When you start the session with your puppies, make sure you have plenty of time to work through it. Don't try and rush this. I have no pressure. My hand is resting on his chest. I'm not actually holding him here, nor am I holding his back paws. So he's pretty relaxed right now. Good. That split second of him quieting down. Now we're gonna actually rotate him around this way. I'm gonna show you, we've got our Dremel tool here. This is I don't have any idea what model it is. It's a Dremel. What model is it?
I'd have to double check.
Okay.
We can put it in the description.
Yeah, we'll put it in the description. So here we're wanting the rotation of this Dremel is going to be basically spinning this way. And I want to lay stop please. I want to lay his nails. I'm gonna deal with you first. Stop please. Okay. I want to lay his nails like this. So they're not going to be bouncing, dig, 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 dig. It's just going to be riding right on that. So I can do it with my own nail here. And that's about all the longer we're gonna put the Dremel actually on his nails. And I'll show you how this. First of all, it is gonna vibrate a little bit. Stop. It's going to take, he's figured out this biting aspect of things pretty well. He is not going for me very often. And when he does, he realizes that's skin or that's dad, and he stops almost instantly. The pressure is very, 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 very minimal to nothing at all, which is how that bite inhibition training is working. We've got a pretty good understanding that he knows how much force he should be using, which is a pretty small amount. And now we're gonna actually be able to move into a few more corrections basically for the behavior. That a little pop on the nose, no, stop, and say that's not okay. Good. Again, I've got my legs tucked up here to kind of keep his butt pushed up where I've got access to him. I'm gonna go ahead and take my arm, that's gonna lay across his chest, and then I've got a hold of this gives me the most control over where he's going. Again, I'm not really pinning him, I've got the arm bar move or something, whatever you wanna call it, so that we have a good idea control-wise of where he's going to be moving so that he doesn't escape. The whole goal would be to teach him that there is no way to get out of this, so eventually you're going to stop trying so that we can just get through this and be done. A little bit of trimming right here, grinding, excuse me. No more than about that on the nails because it can get hot. Good job. So we'll shut that off for a second. That was new to him, and you could see that noise that the Dremel was making really pulled his focus away from what was actually happening here. He was just interested in the noise coming from the Dremel. Some dogs are gonna be worried, freaked out, upset, unsure of the Dremel and the vibrating on their pads or near their pads and on their nails. And one thing that you can do with that is actually take and just apply the Dremel, the back of the Dremel here, while it's still running to their paws, and kind of help to desensitize that. Because you wouldn't want to leave the grinder on his paws that long. Good. Once he stops, then stops struggling or squirming around, then we can stop. It's going to show him that to end this, basically he needs to lay still. And eventually he's going to figure out the longer I lay still, the faster I can get through this. All right, we'll go to the back ones here. Struggling a little bit. I've kind of got a little bit of pressure with my legs, a little bit of pressure with my arm here. Stop. Still got a hold of him. I'm gonna shut the Dremel off so that I don't actually get him with the Dremel tool. Stop. And then we'll resituate him. We got one paw left. He was doing really, really well. Good. And get reset up here. This time my right arm's gonna come across his chest, and we're gonna grab this back foot here. No, that's not working. That's not working. You just went up. He's squirmy wormy. Okay. Arm pressure across his chest just a little bit. It's very light pressure, but it's going to help me to be able to tell when he's trying to lean forward or sit up, so I can prevent that. A little bit of grinding here. Now, if your puppy gets really upset or really overwhelmed with the Dremel tool, we're done, but now we need to work through the last part of this, which is settling down. If your puppy gets upset with the Dremel tool, you may just work on turning it on to begin with. Stop, pup. Turning it on to begin with and helping them to settle down just with the Dremel on, getting used to the noise. And then getting used to the vibration, which they can feel through the Dremel itself, and then moving into the actual Dremeling process. Can be something, every dog's gonna respond to that just a little bit different. But now we'll take a couple minutes here, however long he needs, to help him relax. Kind of show him the very fun and enjoyable part of this grooming session, which is just gonna be some love and affection and quiet time with Dad here. We're looking for full relaxedness out of him. Nothing tense, nothing tight. No struggling, and I don't want to have to be restraining him in any way, shape, or form. So already we've got less pressure with our legs. He's still kind of struggling up front here. We're just resetting him each time, and helping him to calm down. As soon as I let go of that little bit of pressure here, he's trying to sit up again, and we want to get him to the point where he's just going to relax through that whole process. Right here, just relaxing. You can see each time I kind of take my hands up, that's when he's springing to try and get out. All of our puppies I'm going to have just lay here until they figure out, there is no escape. When Dad says we're done, that's when it's okay to be done. You can definitely tell that he's getting tired of this, and he keeps struggling and keeps fighting. But at this point, if we let him go during this process, the next time we attempt to do this, it's going to take longer and longer and longer. Good boy. So what we saw there was he finally got to the point where he settled down. It didn't take too terribly long. I'm sure my camera lady is thinking that took forever, but it took a few minutes. And what I noticed there while he was with me is he finally went, and I wanted to show him at that moment, that relax, that deep breath that you just said, that was good, and we want to reward that. So I ultimately gave him what he was looking for, and if we can get to that moment faster next time, it will be better for both of us. So guys, this is an update. I think you'll be able to see a huge progress from the first nail trimming to this nail trimming, and we'll be able to show you what our next nail trimming looks like, so we can see a 3-week progression of how he moved through being kind of a turd about getting his nails trimmed to, I would assume, being a pretty dang well-behaved puppy. Thanks guys for watching. I'm the guy with the pink gun. For those of you that don't already, hit that subscribe button. It really helps us out with this channel, and we will see you guys in the next video.